Good morning. Welcome to your weekly podcast, Trying to Apply. Like every Friday, we have three incredible guests who will give you points of view about the future. One, we tell advices for your problems and a surprise medical topic. I say no more. So we start with the first guest, Darwin Yap. He is a researcher on the change that societies have had over time. This is expert will make you some predictions in some very interesting areas.
Thank you very much for the invitation and greetings to our listeners. As you mentioned, we will talk a little about what I think will be possible in the future, especially around the school, transportation, and health. Let's start with the school area. Everything indicates that we will no longer send children to school because with the advanced technology, virtual classes will be taken.
Wow, you no longer have to worry about not forgetting to pick up the children from school. And who will teach the subjects in these virtual classes?
Well, robots will be good teachers. Although I don't rule out that some subjects will continue to be taught by humans.
Will the subjects have a chance or will they remain the same?
It's a good question. Mathematics will be one of those that won't change. Science is very important for students. Perhaps there will be classes of a single universal language.
Wow, that would be great. What about transportation?
Well, public transportation will be free and more effective. Plus, all cars will stop using gasoline and use electricity. In addition, there may be large roads and there may still be the occasional accidents. In the future, possible cars will have thrusters instead of thrusters. There may also be cars driven by robots.
Well, finally, what will happen with the issue of health?
Where definitely doctors will not be replaced by robots, but they will use more advanced machines to better serve people. In addition, we will have better tools for operation. The tools will be better or even totally different for the surgeons.
Well, an interesting future awaits us. Thank you very much for the prediction, and it's time to move on to our next guest. But stay until the end of the program to answer some questions our listener will ask.
Of course, a pleasure.
Has had recurrent problems at work or school. So he will to look to hear from our second guest in addition to accepting calls for our listeners for advice. And we will talk to Marta Vasquez. She's an expert psychologist in making his patients.
I am very pleased to be here. I want to talk about one of the most common problems. Stress is a problem that exists in people's daily lives. It's defined as the physical or mental response to an external cause, such as having many homework or lines. Well, usual relaxing exercise such as deep breathing. You can also talk about the situation with your friends to cope with in a positive way.
They are good recommendations. Uh, they tell me that There is a call coming in. We are going to take it.
Good morning. My problem is that in my work, he assigns me activities that I don't know what to do anymore, or I think that will go wrong.
First, you should stop and thinking if things will go wrong. Then when you get home, you should take some time to do relaxing activities like reading or gardening.
Oh, well, in my house, there are some books lying around. I guess I think it's time to read them. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Well, I'd like to continue with some tips. If you can concentrate on your work activities, I have some tips for you. The first is one the most difficult, but you should disconnect them from the social networks. It's, it is one of the main distractions. You should download periods of work. Taking intermittent breaks can help you stay centered and relaxing. Stretching for a few minutes or doing some quick yoga gives you a healthy distraction and can even renew your energy.
Wow, those are very useful tips. I always get my cell phone away so I don't get distracted at work. Today the public is very excited. We have another call. Please answer him and let him tell us what is the problem.
Hello. What happened is that I'm just starting a new job, but I feel that this job deals with many clients. Sometimes I get distracted and it has brought me problems. In addition to the previous tips, what other recommendation would you give? Would you guide?
Oh, one of the things that happen in these types of jobs is that they stop eating properly. So you should eat in balanced way because when you're hungry, it's really hard to concentrate on something. And if you ate too much, you will get sleep. It also takes care of the hour or rest. Sleep what is necessary. Sleep few hours effects or clarity of thought and defer productivity.
Oh, I must stop eating so much. Even though the food is so good. Bye.
I think that with that explanation, we say goodbye to our second guest and we pass it with our last guest of this broadcast. I hope Marta stays to answer some questions from the listeners.
Sure, I will answer with pleasure.
The third guest, Daniela Olan, will tell you about a medical topic and will give you some indications and that can be useful.
Hello, it's a pleasure to be here. I hope everyone is well. Just like you say, we'll be talking about a medical topics. The cold is very common today and can be caused by different reasons. Often people self-medicate or consume home remedies.
Wow, what are these home remedies? Is it good to consume any medicine?
A very frequent one is to put onion in the socks and use it all night. Also take honey. This instead of helping can worsen the disease. It is very important to always consult a doctor and not take medication by ourselves or consume remedies.
How interesting. Many times we do these remedies to get better faster without knowing that they don't work or can harm us. What is the best we can do?
Uh, what we can do is stay hydrated and rest. Has this can help the cold, and most importantly, consult your trusted doctor to that he can prescribe the medicine that you can help with the cold.
Thank you very much for this recommendation. We hope that the people who listen to you take these recommendations into account and always remember to consult a doctor before consuming any remedy to alleviate an illness. Well, now we'll pass the questions that our listeners send us. The first question: what would you do if you didn't have to work?
If that happened, I will continue investigating because it's already part of my day-to-day life.
Interesting answer. Let's go with another question. What would you do if a salesperson gave you too much chance?
I will return the stress change if I release it at the time. Sometimes I don't check the change because I think about my research.
Oh, this is question for guest 3. What would you do if you saw a college stealing at work?
If I see a partner doing that, I will report him to my superior. No matter who he is, stealing is not good for any reason.
Good. What would you do if you found a spider in the bathtub?
Wow, what curious listener you have. I will immediately get out of the bathtub and never get back in. I don't like spiders.
And here we have some question for guest 2. What would you do if your boss offered you a job in New York?
If that happened, I will think well because there are things in between, like to move my salary, and if there are difference between two jobs, but if a significant salary increase, I will definitely go.
Here is a difficult decision. And this question, I think it's happened to all of you guests too. Uh, would you do if your parents forgot your birthday? If they forgot my birthday, and I will try to tell them that today is my birthday, but I wouldn't ask for anything. As you say, is happening to all of you, and there is not need to hold a grudge because they forgot.
Wow, amazing answer.
Wait, suddenly there is a third call, and what our listeners wants to ask you.
Good morning. I have a big problem. My parents want me to study law, but I don't like it. I want to study to become a writer. What can I do?
Well, you should stay calm. Talk with your parents can be difficult, but it's important to have a calm and relaxed conversation. In addition, to begin calm, it will also help you to better analyze your options, what you can propose, and your arguments for study a different.
Yes, but how can I talk to them?
Mm, Well, you should talk about your different options are like in the universities and that offer you degree, and also talk about what job opportunities you have and what the labor field will be like. It is more likely that they will listen to your point of views, and if they release that you have thought of asset plan and did all the research, the substantive your desires.
Oh, thank you very much for the recommendation. Bye.
To finish, these last two questions can be answered by any of you. What would you do if you couldn't use the internet for a week?
If that were to happen, I would also read some books and I think I will go camping. I have always wanted to have time to do an outside activity.
Wow. And last question, what would you do if meet a famous person in the supermarket?
If I meet a famous person, I will try to take a picture with him because it is no easy to meet a famous person.
Yes, that was I thought.
I think very much like you, only in my case, I would only ask him for a photo if it was a famous person who I admire or like his work. Otherwise, I will just say hello.
With this, the last answers, we finished today episode. We'll wait for your the next one. Bye bye.